What's up, everybody? I figured I'd hop on here and give y'all some really good story time and some good tea. The last 9 years I've worked for the same company. Started out at, I want to say minimum wage 9.5 years ago. It was a small company at that point in time. Only had 4 employees plus the 2 owners. I worked my way up in the first 3 years from the bottom of the totem pole to the maintenance manager, then into a service technician about a year later, and then ran service for 2 years, and then went into service manager. It was basically like service manager, equipment manager, stuff like that. Writing tickets, making sure jobs are complete the correct way, following up with customers upon completion, etc., etc. About 2.5 years ago, it's probably the height of COVID, 2021, I was promoted to project manager, where we started doing new builds and rehab builds on old places. We'll just call them places for this moment. Redoing places at condos and stuff like that, add-ons, etc., etc. Worked my way from $7.25 an hour all the way up to $18.75 weekly salary with a manager's based bonus opportunity program, 100% paid health, dental, vision. Never used the dental. I should have. My teeth are horrible. I already know. 2 weeks paid time off every year. 5 days paid sick time every year. 3 personal days every year. When I left the company 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, I had 6 weeks of vacation time saved. I had 11 paid sick days, and then 9 personal paid days. Just take a day off if I wanted to for no reason. So $7.25 a week, $230 paycheck to $18.75 a week salary. My bonus program was based off a couple items, which was $2,500 a month. I only got the max amount 3 times in the last 3.5 years of that. Normally I got anywhere between 40% to 65, sometimes even 75% of my bonus program monthly. I was doing pretty good, really great money. Out of every paycheck since I started there, a minimum of $148 a week was taken out for my child support, which is garnished from the state of Mississippi. I have 2 kids. 3 years ago, I went in for an evaluation. I called them myself to let them know that I had again been promoted, came into a substantial amount more money a week, and just didn't feel at the time that $281 a paycheck every week was sufficient enough for 2 children. Brought them all my financial stuff, my bills. We agreed, along with my ex, we agreed instead of the $488 each one was getting a month, we basically doubled it. They were going to get $2,000 a month, $1,000 a piece per child. Moved them over to my insurance because it was affordable at that point in time. Paid 0.5% of schooling, so like books, school clothes, trips, stuff like that, as well as contributed other items not through the court system. Clothes, vacation, toys, cell phones, motorcycle, ATV, dirt bikes, whatever. They're always been taken care of. I was a deadbeat until my son was about 4. I wasn't in his life. Made some bad choices. Wouldn't do them again if I had to. If I could change anything, that's the only thing I would go back and change. To this day, he's 16. We really don't have much of a relationship because of those 4 years. Anyways, so for, like I said, about the last 10 years, a minimum of $130 or $140 was taken out of my check every month. I mean, every week, I'm sorry. 3 weeks ago, I was pulled over in my company truck that I was driving. Not my company, the company I worked for had a company truck to get me around and run deliveries, pick up and drop off equipment at job sites, etc., etc. I got pulled over for my tag almost about to fall off. Cop was just being nice, letting me know that it was hanging on by literally one turn of the bolt on the trailer. DOT officer. Well, not really DOT, state trooper. So gave him all my driver's license, registration for the vehicle and the trailer, among some other stuff that I'm required to have, with the amount of weight that I had at the time. I am a CDL holder. I wasn't overweight or anything like that. The truck was overweight for sure, but I wasn't. I was kind of fat. Anyways, I want to say after about 20 minutes, the cop is still back there in his car and has yet to come up and talk to me again. About that time, I looked up in the mirror again, and there were 2 more state troopers pulling in behind this one, as well as 2 sheriff officers. They get out of the car, they huddle up, and then I can already tell the vibe that was going on, the way one of them grabbed for his handcuffs and on the side of his belt. I was like, oh man, I'm fixing to be pulled out and detained or arrested. So I get pulled out, go over some things with me, write me a warning for the tag on the trailer. Everything else was good, but my driver's license came back suspended out of Mississippi. I live in Alabama. For failure to pay child support is what the warrant was for, and it was a criminal warrant with just over $53,000 in back child support is what I owed. Right now I owe 37. Drained my savings, everything I had saved, pulled out my 401k, paid on it all as I could. I'm still waiting on my 401k to come in, which is going to settle up about half or more than half of what the remainder is. So I explained to these guys that every week when I get paid, my check's garnished for child support. I even had my backpack in my truck with me because I drive this truck home every day. I probably had, 65, 66 paycheck stubs in it that each one of them showed the child support being garnished and deducted from my paycheck on my deductions page and whatnot. Showed them all that. They called in one of their bosses, who then reached out to Mississippi to see if Mississippi wanted me. He explained to Mississippi what was going on. Maybe it's a mistake on their side, as I've been having the money withdrawn. Unfortunately, Mississippi decides that hell yes, they want me, as I'm in like the top 20 or top 15 of delinquent father through DHS in Mississippi. Get arrested, go spend 3 days at the sheriff's department here in my county. Mississippi comes down, checks me out. Really cool cop, by the way, too. We had a 7-hour drive ahead of us. Put me in the police car, took the handcuffs completely off of me, left me in shackles, let me put my street clothes on, gave me my cell phone and stuff. So I'm back here trying to figure stuff out, trying to call my boss, not returning my phone calls. The moment I told him I was getting arrested for child support, immediate red flags. So while in the back of this cop car, I asked him if I could actually reach out to DHS in Mississippi. And he said, buddy, we got 7 hours ahead of us. Do what you need to do, but just remember where you're at. So I started reaching out to them. I get in touch with somebody, and they tell me that they have not received a payment since April 11th was the last payment they received of 2021. So we're 4.5 years into it now, 4.75 of a year into it now. So again, I start trying to contact my employer. No return my phone calls. Call the office. They tell me he's out of office every day. I'm calling his home phone, calling his wife, calling my other buddies. Get to jail, get processed. DHS puts a hold on me. They want to know why I haven't been paying my money. Tried to explain to them that I had already called down the state capital, explained what was going on. And this is what I've learned. Since I live in another state in Alabama, they were basically saying that I was a flight risk because if I got bailed out, I was immediately coming back to Alabama. I said, look, I'm not a criminal. I've never been arrested and charged with anything. I've been in cuffs a few times, never charged or anything like that. I'm not violent. Don't have a history of going anywhere. I don't have a star ID, so I can't get a star ID. I don't have a passport, and I can't get a passport because of what's happening now with the back child support. So I'm not like I'm going to leave the country. End up going back and forth with the DA there. Finally, they let me leave, or let me get bail. $125,000 is what it cost me to get out, which was a good portion of my savings at the time. And then took a bus, day-and-a-half bus ride back down here, and showed up at my employer. Well, where I still thought was my employer. I get there, and I learned that, of course, I'm terminated. Tried to tell me I was a no-call, no-show, etc., etc. Wasn't going to get my last paycheck, or my current check, or my last check, and I had already received my report from my bonus for that month, and I was supposed to get $1,400 of my bonus. Said he wasn't going to give me that. Went back and forth over my paychecks. Finally, he gave them to me. And wouldn't you know it, on the bottom of it, it said deductions, child support. So I confront him and his wife right there. I said, hey, I'm curious on this child support here. Have y'all been making the payments like to the state? And she goes, yeah, I take it out of your check every week, and at the end of the month, I'd send it to the state of Mississippi. I was like, would you have any acknowledgments from Mississippi, digital receipts, bank statements, etc., etc.? She gets all in my face, screaming, hollering, saying that I'm a liar, saying that I'm calling her a liar, which I am at this point, because I found out for the last 4.5 years that they were taking the money out of my check, but they were not sending it. Okay? Yes, it's my fault for not making sure that it's actually being sent. 100% my fault. I should have done more and checked up. Lesson learned. So then I do the math on what they owe me, and I tell her, I was like, okay, well, you can cut me a check today for this. Like, I literally know we just got wrapped up with a very, very big job, where our cost was only like $210,000, and I bid it at almost $892. $892,000. So they were going to make a shit ton of profit on this. He did buy a couple new pieces of equipment during the process and whatnot, but regardless of the point, they have the money to pay me. So they refuse. I tell them I'm not trying to stir shit or cause drama. His wife walks away, so I start talking to him. About 15 minutes later, like 7 cops come rolling into the parking lot, run inside the door, screaming, hollering at me, yelling at me to get down on the ground, don't move. They'd hate to have to shoot me. Like, just some weird shit. Like, so aggressive. You know, she had called them and told them that I was in there, being very threatening. I had a gun, and she was scared for her life. Yes, I have a gun. No, it was not on me. Furthermore, it is actually was confiscated when I was arrested. I have not gotten it back yet. I don't know if I will get back with it because I'm charged with felony child support shit. So I tell the cops what's going on, my side, their side. They asked to see the security tapes of me being disgruntled and threatening. They lied and said that they don't work, they're just for show. That's not true. I go through them every day as part of my job. Let them know that. Basically at that point, it's hearsay. So I get trespassed from this place, no more contact, etc., etc. So here I am with a company I've been with for 10 years that I've devoted my whole entire life, 7 days a week on a salary, not paid overtime, going above and beyond, always being proactive, not reactive, and I get shitted on like this. So now I've gotten in touch with an attorney on what we're going to do and whatnot, and there's been rumors going around from, you know, the owners that they're trying to sue me too for slander, and telling everybody that they 100% made the payments, but they won't show proof to it. They won't show proof to my attorney or anything. So as right now, we put a $1.5 million lawsuit on. Will I get 1.5? No. Is it worth 1.5? No. But they have already made the determination that they will not settle for $1. So it's going to have to go to a court, and hopefully the 12 people that we try this case in front of understand the seriousness of the situation at hand. So yeah, it's crazy. The company robbed me of my child support payments. There's always going to be more to this as time goes on. This video now is probably about 4 weeks into it, so a lot has happened. I'll post daily updates every other day. If y'all feel like y'all want to like it, subscribe it, comment, share, follow the journey to see who gets fucked in corporate America here. It's probably going to be me, but I have enough evidence to whatnot that I feel like I'm going to come out on top, and I'm at least going to get what's owed to me at minimum, which is all I want in the long run. Just want to be able to live my life comfortably, make sure all my bills and stuff are paid for, and not be in this type of predicament. Peace.